Hello, everyone. It's me, Jenna Ryan. I'm here today with two barking dogs, and maybe they might be a really good example for what I want to talk about today, which is reactivity. And I want to talk about reactivity in terms of recovering from narcissistic abuse or recovering from codependency. When we're recovering from codependency, when we're recovering from narcissistic abuse, the goal is to self-differentiate, to become a whole person, to become a solid individual, to become someone who is not moved by the behavior of others, to become someone who is solid in their own sense of self, in their own sense of being, who's not relying on external people for self-validation, who validates oneself and who has dignity and who is someone who is self-differentiated. That's the key. So whenever you are unself-differentiated, that means that you are not differentiated. That means that you are not yourself, that you are attached to someone else. And if you were raised in a narcissistic environment where they were raised in a narcissistic environment where, for many generations it was a narcissistic environment, then you may not have been taught to become a whole person in and of yourself. And if that happened to you, then you are likely to get into relationships in the future in which yourself is not appreciated, is not validated, is not even brought to bear, is not even brought up because you don't even know who yourself is. And so you're in a situation where you're not being yourself, where you're not allowed to be yourself, you don't allow yourself to be yourself, and you just go along with whatever anybody else says, and you try to find somebody strong who has some point of view that sounds like the right point of view, and you go with that person, and you let them boss you around, and then you let them rule your entire life. Ow. That hurts. So it's called reactivity. Well, what it gets down to is reactivity. Okay, so here's the thing. Whatever you're manifesting in your life is what you're manifesting on the inside. So if you are not doing so good on the inside, you're going to manifest it on the outside. Sorry, people, you are co-creators. I don't know if you're ready for this conversation. I don't know if you're mentally ready. I don't know if you're emotionally ready. I don't know if you're on the healing journey where what I'm saying to you is making sense. You may need to go and watch somebody else's videos for a while and then come back to my videos, because this may be higher level, because this stuff would have been too high level for me at one point. Do you notice how my dogs are fighting? Okay, this is a great example of reactivity. They are playing a game back and forth of reactivity and reactivity and reactivity and reactivity. Like, see, like if I had a bone right now, okay, watch what happens. I have a bone. Okay, here's the bone. Okay, one of them gets it. And then the other one will start complaining because this one has the bone. And they just play back and forth, back and forth. And basically, they're on a conscious level, a level of consciousness where that's where they want to be. They're having a blast. They're having a blast fighting over this one bone. I can give them two of the same kind of bone, and they fight over one bone because it's called, jealous game or whatever. That is what people do whenever you're in a narcissistic snake pit. Whenever you're in a snake pit of narcissists, whenever you are being drawn into a narcissistic environment, whenever you are allowing yourself to be harmed by a narcissist, whenever you return to a narcissist, you get into the narcissist, go to dinner with narcissists, go to a snake pit of narcissists, you're basically, you're playing the reactivity game. You're allowing this negative, toxic environment to affect you in a major way, and it's very painful. It's not fun at all. So I get that. I understand that because I've lived that. But the neat thing is that, oh, my nose just started itching. I think it's this pet dander. Oh, these are like cats. Anyway, I think that, you get reactive. You get reactive. And I think that, it's because you don't want to deal with your own stuff. Sometimes it's painful to be a grown-up. Sometimes it's painful to self-differentiate. Sometimes it's painful. sometimes it's more fun to just stay with the path of least resistance, to stay within your comfort level. You know, I know how to argue with these people. I know how to play these games with these narcissists, so I'm just going to stay in these narcissistic levels of consciousness, and I'm not going to think for myself. I'm just going to stay right where I am, and I'm not going to go anywhere. And I'm, you know, at least I'm not alone. You know, I can be with this person who is, you know, degrading to me, or who is not respecting my feelings, who's not respecting my truth, who is not really helping me to grow in any way, is not really relating to me as if I'm a complete separate person. You can stay in those situations. You can stay in them, and you can stay in them for a long time. But there is a higher level. And the level that I'm talking about, you know, I learned a lot from Jerry Wise, and he has some videos on YouTube, and he's like a therapist, and he has some videos, and they wouldn't have made as much sense to me at a previous point as they do now. They make a lot of sense to me now, but they did not make sense to me a few years ago. So it took a while for me to get up to speed and understand what he's talking about. Also, I think he lost some weight or something. He did something to really help his, you know, he looks like he's really doing good. Anyway, so he was talking about, you know, reactivity and self-differentiation. And this is something I've been working on for years, but I never really got to the reactivity part. And I was actually living out the healing from the reactivity, which means I, you know, would be able to be in a fight. Ow! That hurts. Puppy. Oh. Does anybody want a puppy? So I would be like in reactivity. I would be in a state of where I could have been reactive, but instead of reacting to whatever was going on, I just sat there like, what? Because when you're reactive, what happens is, it's like if somebody triggers you to feel feelings, if someone triggers you, basically they're triggering your childhood drama stuff. They're triggering your internal, you know, those parts of you that fear, those parts of you that are lonely, those little child parts in you, the fear of abandonment, the attachment issue parts. If you have someone that's starting to trigger those parts and causing you to react, okay, you're in big trouble. That is not a good place to be. You want to be in a place where you are non-reactive, because what you resist persists. So you want to be very non-reactive. You don't want to react just because somebody wants to push your buttons. You don't want to react just because someone is like wanting you to react. If you react to someone's antics, or let's say someone wants you to react, and every time you always react, and then come to find out at the end of the day you act like it was all your fault, because you can overreact to the point to where it suddenly looks like you're the ignoramus, because, you know, somebody like is pushing your buttons so much that you explode and you look like the idiot to yourself and to everyone else. Mostly to yourself. That's the most important thing, is how you look to yourself. So it's just really important to come to a place of non-reactivity. That means you're not reactive. You're not reacting. Like someone could come up and call you a name, and you're just like, really? And you're so separate from them. You're such your own person. You're so self-differentiated that you're like, okay, you think so? Okay, very interesting. I accept how you feel. You can think I'm a bitch all you want. That's your prerogative. But I don't have to like internalize it. I don't have to take it personally. I don't have to change that person. I don't have to make that person feel like I'm not a bitch. I don't have to please that person. I don't have to people please. I don't have to fight with that person. I don't have to play with that person. I don't have to do anything to that person. I can just be me. And I can just say, okay, you just be you, and I'm going to be me, and I'm not going to worry about what you do, because it just doesn't bother me. You know, it's like, okay, fine. And it's so neat when you can get to a place of non-reactivity. When you can get to a place of non-reactivity where people that are used to bug you, and ow, that really hurt. Bite marks. when people that used to, it's so interesting how the dynamic of my dogs are doing this right now. Like the world can be like falling down around you, and you're just like, okay, I'm going to get out of here, or I'm going to go and focus on myself, or I'm going to go have a bubble bath, or I'm going to go and just work out, or I'm going to go and watch a really good movie. I'm going to go hang out with a friend. And these dogs can just sit here and fight all day. Not really. Not just these dogs, but also people. If you go to bed with dogs, you're going to wake up with fleas. Just kidding. Yeah. It's like, let people be who they are, and you be who you are, and then you can grow as a person as you don't care how they feel and what they're thinking. You're non-reactive. It's like, it's very meditative. You have to have a meditative state to be able to, have someone that normally would trigger you, not let them trigger you. And also to be able to stand up for yourself and say, you know what? No, you get down. You get down too. Get back. And stand up for yourself and say that. Or set a boundary. Or if it's somebody that's healthy, then you can explain how you feel and ask for change or set limits. You can you can respond rather than react. So anytime I know that I'm feeling riled up, I'm feeling triggered, I'm feeling poked, I can remind myself, oh my gosh, if I'm feeling triggered by what this person is doing, then that means that I am over close to this person. That means that I'm over connected. Because if you're being reactive and you don't have space to respond, that means that you're enmeshed with that person. Even if you hate them, okay? Even if you hate this guy. I have a friend who hates this guy. He's messing her around. She knows he's a narcissist. She knows he's bad. She hates his guts. Hating is a form of reaction. Despising, disliking, anything you resist persists. You're creating your own reality. So when you hate someone, I hate them, you're like literally creating energy forces around you to pull that hatred towards you. And you're actually putting off all kinds of gross stuff you don't want to put off. Hating, I'm so mad at that person. That's reactivity. It's not the end of the world. Okay, if somebody calls you a name. Our internal, our midbrain, our limbic system is set up to go berserk, but that is not maturity. That's not using your cerebral cortex. That's just instinctual. That's just, that childhood, I didn't snap at you. That's just that childhood stuff welling up and causing you to react and be impulsive and respond in a way that's not very healthy. So what you want to do is you want to have space. You want to have your cerebral cortex online to say, you know what? Okay, your butt smells. Get down. I mean, truly. I think she farted or something. Anyway, so it's like, okay, somebody help me, save me. The point being, do you understand what I'm saying? I'm saying that I wish I edited my videos because I would totally edit that out, but I don't edit my videos. So you've got to not be non-responsive. You've got to be non-responsive. You got to not respond. You respond, you stay connected. So, there's all this, just get the person out of your life forever. Well, you could stay connected to people, but, if they're an abusive narcissist, you want to get them out of your life. But you can stay connected to people and not be enmeshed with people. You can stay connected to people and not be overreactive. You can stay connected to people and just respond rather than react. You don't have to go nuts. Okay? Does that make sense, people? What I'm trying to say is that when you're recovering from narcissistic abuse, when you're recovering from codependency, when you're self-differentiating, whenever you're fulfilling that development process that you didn't get to finish as a child because you, or whatever reason, no, you cannot eat my shoe. Look at my cute shoe. He cannot eat it. Lexi, you better not have my shoe. Bye, everybody. Talk to you soon. See you next time.